Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Horizon Europe to Go, our 10 to 15 minutes short insights on the Horizon Europe program. Today, I'm here with my colleagues Manuel and Isabelle, and we are going to talk about the MSCA Postdoctoral Fellowship call that just opened. You might remember them from our first episode, but if you did miss it, don't worry, you can still catch up and go back to our website and find the previous episodes of Horizon Europe to go. Also, don't hesitate to insert any question in the chat of this platform so that we can go through your questions or comments at the end of the session. So let's start. Again, as I mentioned, we are going to talk about the MSCA Postdoctoral Fellowship. The call for 2026 has just opened, but the deadline seems quite far. It's the 9th of September. You will help us in understanding how to prepare for it, but before checking the details or the tips you want to give to the people watching today, can we make first a step back for those that maybe are unsure what we are talking about and tell us briefly what the postdoctoral fellowship is in Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions?
Yes, thank you, Micol, and thank you for joining. So this is really a very important question. So the postdoctoral fellowship is an individual grant for a young researcher, so young postdoc. And here it's very important. It's not just a normal research project application. It's really about your career development. So how you can advance your career with this fellowship based on a training. So keep this very much in mind. Science matter, but as well how you want to advance your career.
Exactly. So no pressure, but this brings to the first key decision, your supervisor and host institution. And that's something that we cannot advise you, of course. The MSCA is a bottom-up program, and it really depends on your career vision.
So you said it, you cannot advise people how to make such a decision, but can you give some support or tips to how to come with a decision at the end?
Yeah, it's really your trajectory, your path. So think what you've done so far. What are you missing for reaching your next step? And something else is not necessarily to be on academia. You can also go in industry, and the MSCA PF also support you on this. So really think about the skills you are missing, also in terms of interdisciplinarity, and try to define your project according to this.
Yes, and maybe one step back, also technically, please check all the eligibility rules. So the MSA mobility rule, also the scientific age is important. And when you have checked all of this and you have found a supervisor and a host, we think it's very important that you have a good plan how you want to advance the writing process. So when do you get feedback from your supervisor and how to collaborate with them, but also the grants office of the host might have some support for you, especially for the B2 part. They might have some important input or support in the writing process. So get in touch also with the grants office of your future host.
Yeah, this seems a very good tip. But maybe is there anything else you would like to recommend on top of this very good one?
So if you want to have the magic formula, we don't have it. And yes, it's a very competitive call. So the last time the success rate was below 10%. So it's very important that you take every criteria serious. So don't underestimate impact or implementation. Even if you don't care about outreach, they care. So you really address every point of the IP, how you want to exploit your results. And if you are doing basic research, at least address and discuss these issues as well. So really go step by step, because this is also how they evaluate the proposals.
Yes, and I have to rebound here. I'm sorry, there is no secret win formula. For example, many candidates tell us, but if I add a secondment or if I add preliminary results, my score will be higher. No, we saw several successful projects that had none of this. So the main point is the coherence in your narrative, everything you put. So the secondments, the training, the skills you need, everything must be coherent with, again, with your career path. And this is something that the evaluator feel. And so in these 10 pages, it's very important that you give an holistic approach.
And would it help if the applicants would check previous proposals, or not really?
Yeah, it's a good idea. You can ask maybe to your host institution or to the supervisor. Sometimes there is some database, so it's good to got some inspiration, but don't do some copy paste. Mainly because the template changes also slightly during the years. So it might be that there are something to be taken into account. So always go and take the latest version of the proposal template.
Yes, and just to jump in, so we as Swiss NCPs, we don't send out or share any successful proposals. So we can support you in the writing process, but we don't share any old proposals. As Manuel said, the templates change, and I think it's important to have your own writing.
And you mentioned already the grant offices, but how else or where else the applicants can find support?
Yes, and this is where we, the national contact points, can help you. So we as Swiss NCPs, we support all those applicants who want to do a fellowship in Switzerland. So if you're based in Switzerland, but you go outside, let's say you want to go to Germany, then you should contact the German NCP people, advisors, to find out what services they support. So always contact the NCP of your future host country.
Yeah.
And do you want to add something?
No, they can look in the funding tenders portal. There is the list of all the NCPs.
Mm-hmm. And you say that every NCP in a country would provide different support. So what do the magic Swiss NCPs offer?
There are several options. So the first is the applicants training that this year we offer in 5 cities. Again, you can go on our website and check. And then but these are on site, so really it's in person. For those who apply, I don't know, from Japan, and they cannot come just for a training. We also offer some online trainings, which are really all the details of the template is thoroughly checked, so it's also useful. And this will be available starting from May, so soon.
Yes, and these trainings are so-called tutorials, videos, so you can follow from any time zone very flexibly. And maybe very importantly, I want to also emphasize that we provide proposal reviews. So this is a very popular service. It's for free. It's on a first-come, first-served basis, and we only do it once per call. So find the good moment when to share with us, not too early, but also not too late. So it has to be within the 10 pages, the page limit. And we also advise to have checked the tutorial and also the handbook of Radiance beforehand. And maybe a special call for all those who resubmit, because the last call was so competitive. If you resubmit, check the ESR that you got, the evaluation summary report, adapt it and send it to us early on. We have already received 2 that we could review. So be early if you're a resubmission person, so we can give you a feedback.
Yeah, and since we're talking about writing, of course, artificial intelligence is the main topic. You can use it. The European Commission will not penalize you for this, but of course, use it in a smart way. For example, if it's for checking the English, it makes totally sense, especially if you're not a non-native speaker. But it's not the artificial intelligence is going to substitute you. That's really about your career path, your excellent idea. So keep the human factor at the center.
Thanks. I think this was a very good summary on how to prepare for the application. I quickly check whether we have questions from the people watching us today. Doesn't look like the case, but obviously do not hesitate to include comments also in the next hours or days. We are always checking the social media, so we can still reply to you or get directly in contact with Manuel and Isabelle. You find their contacts also on our website if you need further support or you have specific questions for your application. Before closing and going for lunch, can I ask you a call for action that you want to give today to the people watching and that want to apply to the PF this year?
So I would say 3 things. Start early, think strategically about your career, which host and supervisor you choose, and make the most out of the support available. So we are here to support your application.
Thanks a lot, both of you.
Thank you, Micol.
I hope to see you again in this format, since this is already the second time, and it's a pleasure to talk together about MSCA. For all the people watching us or wishing to watch us in the future, we are here on a regular basis every 2 weeks on Monday at 12:15. Unfortunately, next time will not be in 2 weeks because there will be good vacations for us. So we meet again on May 18th, dealing with what is the mindset to succeed with the EIC Accelerator application. So a completely different topic, but still under the frame of Horizon Europe. So thanks for watching and see you on the 18th of May. Bye-bye.
Ciao.